Wow, 222 Malone Street. PB&J has found foam, sweet foam. What a cool monument to beer.
It's Bud cans as minimalist art. You can hear the Beer Can House a block away, you know, you hear it before you see it.
He really didn't have a beer preference, huh?
No.
Anything that was in front of him?
He always told people his favorite beer was whatever's on sale. You know, he and his wife Mary had an agreement that he could do whatever he wanted to the outside of the house as long as he didn't touch the inside.
Kept him out of trouble.
Yeah, exactly. He wasn't just sitting in the lazy boy all
drinking
day.
beer. He
was
out front.
Out front drinking beer.
Cans.
Right.
The Beer Can House actually didn't start as a beer can house. It started in the yard of one John Milkovich.
He told people he just got tired of mowing the lawn.
So he poured concrete everywhere. And then he placed little rocks, stones, jewels, even doorknobs throughout this concrete yard. And this started John's obsession with the Art Deco feel around his house.
He was just an average guy, and he liked two things. He liked drinking beer and working with his hands. And so
I can relate to half of them.
Yeah.
And how do the neighbors feel about the Beer Can House?
Neighbors love the place.
They've actually been really cool because a lot of them lived here, especially in some of the older houses.
Yeah.
They lived here and they knew John and Mary and they watched the process. And so they have been very, very patient and cool and supportive and coming over and saying things like, it looks great, this is exactly how we had it, it's amazing.
And the thing most of them missed was the garlands that make all the sound.
And with over 50,000 cans, how long did it take John to make this masterpiece?
He probably was collecting cans for roughly 14 years total, probably 10 years before he started the project, and it took him about 4 years to get all the curtains and the siding up. So we did the math and figured it's probably like a 6-pack a day habit.
I can do it in half the time. No, actually I couldn't do a 6-pack a day. I can do maybe 18 a week and still function for you guys, the viewers.
John's Beer Can House wasn't planned. It was more or less an accident.
He didn't really set out saying, I'm gonna build a house covered in beer cans. And that's the way a lot of folk art and self-taught artists do. They don't really have a plan, and really they don't even know why they do it sometimes. They just have this urge to do it.
And one can chronicle John's art by merely looking at the beer brands on the side of his house.
Towards the front of the house you see like Falstaff and Buckhorn and Texas Pride, beers that haven't been made in years.
Yeah.
And then towards the back you start to see Bud Dry and Bud Ice and beers that came along much later.
And the cans aren't limited to just the outside. There's some very cool art on the inside as well.
Those are Budweiser cans in there that got bleached by the sun. And it really kind of looks like, I mean, you could hang that in a museum.
You can reproduce that. I'm not
selling at Sotheby's.
I would be breaking my wife's rule of putting things on the inside of the house.
Steven, watch out for that microphone.
Steven, I see a beer can with George Washington on it, and I've drank my share of beer, but I've not seen this.
You know, you probably would have been too young for this, but a lot of old timers remember this was a commemorative 1976 Falstaff beer can with George Washington. You can tell those were not made of aluminum.
Steel, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Steel days, wow.
Exactly.
It's when you got to work out when you're drinking your beer.
And John had a set of bottle openers that would make any bartender jealous.
And this is where he did it all, and you can, kind of see everything that he did. The way he would do it is rivet the beer cans together. These are beer cans that he cut.
He had a lot of time.
He had a lot of time, yeah.
Yeah, but look at that. I mean, that's...
My trip to the Beer Can House has inspired me to do some home rebottling.